Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. Time for another Deal It Up challenge, and where today brings us halfway through series 2 of our faux collectors cards. It's amazing how quickly these series are going when you're only doing 6 in a series. Super fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. These are my 2 cards so far for this series on children. If you're new to this challenge, please stick around and watch and see whether you might like to participate. It's a very simple concept, and I'm sure you'll pick it up, but if you have any questions, do pop them in the comment section and I will get back to you. Okay, so let's pull the prompts. First up, the 2 creative prompts for our children card. How's everyone doing with their children's cards? I've been seeing a few and I'm so in love. They are just looking so good, my friends. All the ones I've seen are just so cute and beautifully done. So I'm really having a ball seeing what you guys are doing. Right, got my eyes closed and we're going to go near the top, I think. We'll go that one. And it is today buttons. Ooh, do I have buttons to hand? I might have to pause the camera for that one. Anyway, we'll deal with that soon. Yeah, I'm not sure that I do have any buttons. Oh, maybe. Maybe I've used them too. Anyway, we'll deal with it in a moment. Don't need to deal with it right at this point. Not while I'm shuffling cards and pulling prompts. Okay, eyes closed again, and I closed my eyes for these 2 sets because they've got different backs on them. So we took it close to the top. Let's take one close to the bottom on this one. Colour blocking, which reminds me, I did not grab out my coloured sheet of paper for the background of my card. Never mind. Okay, so this is the alternate make. If you don't want to join in making a faux collector's card, absolutely fine. You might prefer this project. You can do one or the other, or you can do both, or you can combine them. So whatever this is might work by adding it onto your children card. So for example, if the prompt is pocket, you could add a little pocket on your faux collector's card if you want. They are designed to go separate, but you can include them together on the same card if you wish. Right, give these a wee bit of a shuffle. Very bad shuffle, but I have no idea which order they're in, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go middle of the pack for this. And I know it's upside down because the writing at the top there. And oh no, I stuck the label on upside down. Altered paperclip. So we had that in the first one, didn't we? First one? Pretty sure we had that in the first faux collector's card that we did. Series 1. Okay, so if you're interested in doing more faux collectors cards, we had series 1, which was birds. So you can, there's 6 episodes on it because we're doing 6 cards, so you can quite easily hop back there and check out what the prompts are and make your series 1 cards if you want to. If you're looking for something extra to do, then you're more than welcome to do that. And please do post your makes on social media if you are on social media. You don't have to, but I would love to see what you do, and use the hashtag DealItUpChallenge. Be ever so grateful to see what you make. Okay, and we're going that one for this prompt goes with this card in particular, but if you so choose, you can include it in your children card as well. If it works. If it doesn't work, don't worry. It's for this one particularly. And these 2 prompts also go for your altered paperclip. So buttons on an altered paperclip. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? Okay, brown paper is our other one. So you can easily include brown paper on the children card, but you don't have to. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick sip of my coffee. Right, so I need first up coloured paper for the background of my card, and I've prepared all my cards with brown paper on the back. So colour blocking, let's go blue. Do I want to go blue? I'm wary that if I pull a cool color prompt and I've already used blue, that, yeah, I've kind of shot that option. So let's go red. Okay, and do I want to color block on the background? I think what I'm going to do is cover it all in the red, and then I'll do some color blocking on top. And I'm not going to do it with paper this time. Normally I do my color blocking in paper, but it just occurred to me, why don't we do something a little different this time for color blocking? Oops, that's not the right glue stick, that's the new one. Let's continue on with the current one. So just going to glue the red paper on, and I've pre-chosen out my child image today. I thought, well, let's just save a little bit of time and choose my image and make sure it fits. And I haven't cut it out, so I'll still have to do that, but I did choose it. So I'm just going to add a little bit of tacky glue just to make sure the edges are nicely sealed up. Haven't used that glue for probably a good 5 days, so I'm pleased it came out no problem. Just gonna pop it in there as close to the corner as we can. So how was your weekend, my friends? Did you get up to anything exciting? We had no weekend plans. Well, I had no weekend plans. Hubby had some, and none of it came to fruition because things kind of went in a direction we were not expecting. And it's drama, but it's not like bad drama for us. It's drama for the family, but and certainly for who it happened to. But yeah, so on Friday night, my brother-in-law fell in his kitchen and broke his leg. And he broke the top of his femur right up near the hip, and the femur is the biggest bone in the body. If you weren't aware of that, you probably did, but anyway, he said it sounded like a gunshot going off. It was so loud when it snapped, and it was quite late. It was like 11 at night or something, or 11:30. I'm not sure exactly on the timing, but it was late. Fortunately, his son was home but in bed, so he couldn't reach his phone because it was up on the bench and he was down on the floor, and it took him 20 minutes to crawl to the doorway of the kitchen, and then he sat there screaming and banging on the wall trying to get attention, and his son finally got up out of bed to see what was going on. Yeah, so ambulance and all that, and we didn't find out until Saturday morning, first thing Saturday morning, and he had surgery on Saturday, which went well. It was a really bad break, but relatively straightforward. So though it was a bad break, it was straightforward for them to pop a whole bunch of pins and plates in place. Yeah, so that happened. So on Sunday, because my husband's parents don't have a car and don't drive, hubby went and picked them up from Waikari, which is like 15-20 minutes north of us. Went and picked them up, and then came home, picked me up, and we went into hospital to visit him for the morning, and then we had lunch out, and then hubby dropped me back at home and took his parents back home. So it was quite a lot of travel, bit of backwards and forwards, but it was a lovely day. Right, so we need brown paper. So yeah, it completely obliterated like everything else that was going on. You know, because we were keeping tracks of surgery and making phone calls and, you know, doing all the things, talking with our nephews to see what they were up to and what they were doing. And right, I'm going to put the brown paper on first before I do the colour blocking. So I think I'm just going to go like that-ish. So yeah, there was lots of phone calls. And in amongst that, was the other drama that did consume me quite significantly on Friday and Saturday. Oh, such wasted time. I'm really not impressed. Got a phone call on Friday from a man living in a riverbed with 4 teens. And when I spoke with him, he says, oh, my daughter, my 17-year-old daughter, she's pregnant. She's 34 weeks pregnant. And so, you know, talked about all the details and food allergies and blah, 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 and how they could, you know, what cooking facilities they had and all this. And arranged to meet him at 5:30 on Friday evening at the local garage, because he said where they are down at the riverbed, you have to have a 4-wheel drive. So arranged to meet him at the garage as a convenient point to hand over. So hubby and I were sitting there at the garage at 5:30. An hour later, he hadn't showed. And so I says, well, this is ridiculous. You know, if he's run into trouble, run out of fuel, hit a pothole in the river, I don't know. Anything could have happened. I says, we can't just sit here. So we went back home and we were home about 10 minutes. Hubby was starting to prep dinner. And I was like, oh, no, I need to go back. I need to go back. And in the meantime, I wasn't able to contact him by phone anymore. It was just going to voicemail. And I thought, well, obviously his phone must have died because he's living in a riverbed. You know, how does he charge his phone? So I kept calling, I kept trying, I kept texting, nothing. And I thought, oh, no, I've got to go back and wait a little bit longer. So I left hubby cooking. And I went back and I waited another quarter of an hour. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't just sit here all night. So I went to the garage and asked if I could leave the parcel there. And yep, they did that. And they were very, very good. They put the frozens in their freezer and they put the chilled stuff in the chiller. More than I expected. I just wanted them to hold the boxes. And texted the guy again, says, if you get this, this is where your food is. They're open 24 hours. You can grab it. The guy who was on shift texted me when he left and says that it hasn't been picked up, and that was like 11 p.m. And so in the morning, hubby went down and no, it hadn't been picked up. So we collected the food, returned it to the food bank. And then it was like, but I'm worried about this family, like a pregnant teen, and if they're stuck down the riverbed, if they've run into trouble with their vehicle, like I was really worried. And so we got some advice. Do we go to the police? What do we do? Anyway, it seems, I know I'm not doing anything, I'm talking, apart from talking, turns out that it may, not 100% sure, but it may have been a prank. Yeah, guys, I am seriously just peeved, to put it mildly. Like, what is the point? They didn't even get anything out of it. They didn't get any food or anything. They never showed. What was if it was a prank, what was the point other than mess around people who are volunteers? Like, I'm a volunteer. I don't get paid for this. Just so much wasted time and fuel, because we even went down to where he said roughly where they might be down at the river, and so we even went down and had a look. Hubby walked along the riverbed for probably a good half hour trying to see if he could find them. Nothing. Oh my gosh, people. It's just waste time, wasted fuel, wasted energy, and the stress of worry. Like, I was worried. I was genuinely worried that something had gone wrong, that this family was stuck, that they were in desperate position, you know, just so I'm still hoping that they're okay and that it was genuine and that they've got something sorted out. I've got to think that, otherwise I think I'd go nuts, because to think that they were just messing us around and it was just a big joke to them is just, it would make me want to stop doing this, because that's right. I'm going to colour block with my Posca pens. That's what I'm going to do. So no real plan here. I'm just going to go in and do some blocks, actual blocks, because why not? That's a lovely, and I probably need to do more than one area of each colour. Don't know how many colours I'll put on. We'll just kind of play and see where we get to. What other colour do I want? Maybe some orange. Excuse me while I give it a good shake. Yeah, so that was really consuming for a lot of Friday evening and Saturday morning and afternoon, actually, because it was afternoon before we got the food back to the food bank. I think, or around lunchtime maybe. So yeah, oh, that's a bit leaky. I need a tissue, I think. Just got a little bit too much paint on the nib. Yeah, so I could have done without that. That was just a whole nonsense. We were out all day on Friday, so we didn't do the parcel until later in the day because hubby took the day off, and we had met up with a couple of friends for coffee in the morning, and then we had a family lunch, and it was the first one hubby had been to, so that was really nice that he could come along to it. Don't want to line those blocks up, so I need to make this a bit wider. And unfortunately, the sad reason why hubby took the day off, took a mental health day, is because on Thursday evening we had our beautiful boy Puss go over the Rainbow Bridge with a little bit of help from the vet. So yeah, it was a tough day Thursday because we knew Thursday morning that we had to do it, that the time had come. So we were both spent all Thursday sort of preoccupied with that knowledge that time was imminent. Yeah, so we did that Thursday night, and it's okay. Like, we'd had him almost 17 years, so he wasn't young. He'd had a good life. So I don't feel as bad about it as when we lost Georgie. I mean, Georgie was 2, and it was sudden, and it was drastic, and it was awful. Not something you expect from a young cat to lose that way. But Puss, you know, he'd had a good innings, and it was, he needed to go. He'd reached a point he needed to go because it was no longer fair for him to continue suffering or to suffer. So yeah, so we had this boom 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 of things going on yet again. Like, what is it, guys? Is there some target on my back that just goes, yep, I think you can have a bit of drama this year, you know, we're just going to keep hitting you with it, and yep, you can deal with this, you can handle this, we're going to be relentless in what's going on. It's like, really, I'm just over the drama. I'm pleased that the brother-in-law situation, like, he's fine, he will heal. They think 3 to 6 months before he can go back to work, like, and that's going to be so tough for him because he's a bit of a workaholic, really. Right, I want to do a bit of overlap or a butting here, butting up. You know, so it was a drama, but it was, you know, it's not too bad of a drama. It's, you know, he's okay. But yeah, really, can I just get a break? And not a bone break, but just a break from everything. I said to a few people over the weekend, I says, I would just like 1 week where I can feel bored again, or just feel normal, like mundane. Not bored, but mundane, like regular routine, nothing unexpected, nothing costly. I think I need to do another green, because I'm doing, you know me, I do 3 of everything. 3 or 1 usually. It's like, yeah, just give me a bit of peace for a week, just a week, where there's nothing untoward happening, nothing breaks, nothing, you know, do you get what I'm saying? I'm sure you do. It's just been a year already, hasn't it? It has. Excuse my arm reaching under there. Right, so that's my colour blocking. I'm not getting on very far. Right, I still need to do buttons. Do I have buttons? buttons, buttons, buttons. And no, it looks like I've used the ones in my drawer. So I'm going to pause the camera. I'm going to go grab out my button tin and probably grab out some off camera because it's a big button tin and it'll probably take a little while. Then I'll come back and we'll finish this off. So be right back, my friends. And I'm back. I found this little packet of buttons, which I think Lisa, I think you sent these to me. I think. But I realized as I turned the camera back on, I should have cut out my picture. So this is the book I'm using for my images for my children's series. And I've chosen out this one of these two boys. I'm not going to be able to get the dog on the width of the card. So we'll do a bit of cutting there. And there's a cool picture on the bottom on the other side. So I don't want to compromise that. I want to preserve that. So we'll tuck that back in the book there. So Janet and John, little reader book. So just going to do a quick little cut around. Not doing a fussy cut, we're just doing a little kiss cut, very loosely. And I want to keep the dog intact. I don't want to cut off his tail or his paw. And we can use him somewhere else at some point. Yeah, so I'm hoping that this week is going to be somewhat calmer and with no out of the ordinaries would be lovely. Just business as usual would be good. It's interesting, it's got like a double print, the printing floor. It's the same image but in a shadow, like his foot here is out here. It's quite interesting. Right, don't want to cut the top off the little yacht there, little sailboat. Yeah, so what is expected this week? What am I looking forward to? What have I got on the books? Pretty much at this stage, it is business as usual. There's nothing stand out about the week in terms of what I've got planned. There's no meetings, it's just me working at home and then food bank. And Friday, I haven't decided yet on Friday whether I will head out and have the day out or whether I'll stay home. So not sure. I think I'm just going to get rid of that scrap there. I'm going to cut the dog there so I don't accidentally chop him in half. And then this is what I'll use to stamp my words. So yeah, hopefully that kind of, oh, so it is, I do need to lose some of that grass. It's too wide. Trim it down. Yep, and some of that colour blocking is covered over, but that is absolutely fine. Okay, I think I might put the words at the, do I want the words at the bottom? Can I fit the words? That's the other thing. I've got two words in mind, because that's what I seem to be going with for this series. I've got Little Mother and Star Player. So I seem to be going for words, two words this series. I'll just give that a little bit of a closer trim. It's just very, very close to not fitting. Just a little bit more of a closer trim in as well. Yeah, right, so I'm going to pop that on. I think we'll be right with, again, I've grabbed the wrong glue stick because I'm not putting this one where it should go. That's why I keep grabbing the wrong glue stick. Play Hunt the Glue Stick on my desk. Who plays that game on a regular basis, whether it's your glue stick or your scissors or whatever it is you use a lot and you put it down, maybe your ink pad, and you put it in different places, so you're always like, where did I put it? Is it under anything? Right. Oops, let's straighten you guys up a bit. How about we straighten you up? That would be good. So you're not walking up a hill. Because he's got a sailboat, so I imagine they're walking down towards a creek or a river. Would make more sense than walking uphill. I think I've just got a little bit at the top there sticking up. Okay, so for words, I thought, because there's 2 children in this, I thought good friends might be nice. So whether we can fit it on there or not, I'm not sure. We'll give it a go. So let's first grab out the letters that we need. D. What's that one? C. No, we don't need C. We need the R, the S, E, the O, and the I. Okay. Right. So do I stamp it in 2, or do I think I'll stamp it in 2 because that gives me, I think, a little bit more leeway on how I arrange them. Excuse me, I've just got a funky eye at the moment, just all of a sudden. Just part of the fun of Sjogren's. So much fun. Right, I am square cutting these, so I'll do right down in the corner. So with these faux playing cards, if you haven't struck this series before, the idea is to make them look like a cohesive series. So each set of 6 should in some way look like they go together. And the way I'm achieving that is the gold border and the words, and then I'm going with a single colour in the background. So I've done orange and green, and this one's red. And they're the ways I'm making them look like they're part of a series. Whoops, I need to do the D. But how you choose to make yours look like part of a series, well, that's entirely up to you. What do you like? Is it some stamping, or a certain colour palette, a style of image, words, or numbers, you know, some sort of label? There's so many options of things you can do. So that's the idea, is that you end up with a set of 6 that look like they belong together, and hence they are a faux collector's card series. I'm having a moment. Friends, i.e. EI. I know what it is, but I'm second guessing myself. And in times like that, I've got to write it out so that I can see, yeah, no, that's definitely right, because the other way looks wrong. Isn't it weird, you know, just words that are so, oh, that didn't stamp very well, but I'm not going to risk doing it again. Common words, often the smallest words too, can sometimes like, is that really right? It looks so dumb. Like, that doesn't look like a word. I find that. I find like, or I say something or type something, I go, is that right? That word, like the, or, you know, something small like that. It's like, is that really a word? It looks so stupid. Oops. We got a bit close and personal with that end, didn't we? It's all right. It's readable. That's all that matters. So it's readable. And can we get this in without the colour? Oh, barely. It's actually slightly on the colour. We might be able to just cut a bit of this off, maybe. Right, I should have perhaps gone this way instead, where I had a little bit more moom? No! What on earth is moom? Room to move. Right. Little fragments of my scissors. Thoroughly enjoying these series of 6. I think they're just so achievable, so fun to do a little mini series of 6. So I'm cutting them in quite close to the stamping. So I think I'm going to struggle to get them on. Right, do I want to cut off? I am going to cut the colour off. It means I'm cutting off the end of the S, but that's okay. I think I'd rather do that than leave some of the red on. My scissors must be sticky because all the paper's sticking to it. So Friends only just fits on there. Does it matter if we cover over their feet? Not really, does it? Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go straight across like that. Okay, so let's ink around these because I'm also inking around the words with a bit of Vintage Photo Distress ink. And then Altered Paperclip. I haven't even oh, I've got to do the buttons. I haven't done the buttons yet. My goodness. What is it with me lately? I've been forgetting one of the prompts. I think in practically every episode of like, oh, I forgot to do what I almost forgot to do. I think that ink is not quite dry yet. The black ink. I think this paper's got a slight sort of satiny texture to it, and the ink takes a little bit longer to dry. Okay, just think I'm going to go tacky glue for this because again I've got my stamps, dirty stamps, sitting on top of my glue pages because that's so handy. Handy place to put the stamps, but not so handy when you need to use your glue pages. So I did not do the altered clip when it came up last time, so I feel like I really should do it this time. Just leave a bit of their feet poking through the gap between the words. Right, we need to do buttons. Just put the lid on my stamp so I can clean them off. Let's choose a button first. So we've got, I don't want to add pink because we've got some pink buttons, but it's not the right colour for these, and it needs to be a relatively small button. How many do I want? There's some red ones. Red would be. And a green one. Well, that one's quite thick. Can we find a thinner one? That one's a thinner one. Maybe we want to do down the side. That's quite cute. And I'm just going to glue them on. That's what I'm going to do. The tacky glue should be okay, but if they come adrift, I will go back in with a stronger glue. But it will do for now. I did think about going with printable buttons, but I thought, no, I haven't actually used real buttons for a wee while. So let's go real buttons. Come on, stick down there. Why aren't you? If you've got a rounded bottom. That one may need the stronger glue, I think, because it's got a rounded bottom. I didn't realise that. It's only slightly rounded, but enough to make it difficult for the glue to grab. Yeah, no, that one's not happy. I need to use I think I'll use my Premium Craft glue. If I can get it down to the bottom, it's almost empty. Up, here it comes. And this is also thicker, so it's going to help balance out that base, so it won't rock the same way. Right, that will keep it in place nicely. Already feels much better. Okay, so now to the gold. So my gold that I'm using is Liquitex Ink Iridescent Bright Gold. Just shaking it just so I get the ink onto the eyedropper. And then I just run the edge of the eyedropper around the edge of my card. Whoops. To get some ink on there. I just became conscious that I'm listening to the dishwasher going in the kitchen. But the other background noise of the washing machine that I put on before I started the video, I can't hear that, so I think my washing's ready to hang out. So I know what I'll be doing after this video. Oops, I got some gold on the button. I knew that was going to be a potential. It's okay, I don't mind. Yeah, so it's a lovely morning at the moment. It's really warm, but it's supposed to rain. So I'm not going to hang the washing outside. I'll just hang it up inside, which is our normal. We normally hang it up inside. We don't have a dryer or anything, so just hang it up inside. And our house breathes, so it doesn't create a condensation issue for us. Although now that we've got insulation, it'll be interesting to see whether it changes that. Okay, so now I need to carefully set that aside to dry. And I possibly shouldn't have put it down. Just lift that up. We'll have a look at it shortly, hopefully after it's dried. Right, so paper clip. First, surprisingly, we need a paper clip. And I've got these wonderful big ones that I purchased recently. Right, so I'm thinking maybe brown paper as my base. Oh gosh, where's the brown paper? Come on. We've got this fun brown paper that's been using as a drop paper. And there's kind of a bit of colour blocking in some form. Does that count? Alright, just gonna snip a piece here. Hopefully it's big enough. Should be fine. I'm gonna fold it in half and give it a trim around because it's very, very uneven. Do I want it that wide? Firstly, is it long enough? Yes, it's long enough. Cool. I think we'll cut it a little bit narrower. There we go. So we've got our brown paper. But I think I want that to be the top layer, so we need something underneath, and I think book page will be the thing to use. I'm sure I'll have a scrap in here. Yep. So I need to make it, I think, slightly smaller than my brown paper. I think is what I'm aiming for. Just gonna make a couple of marks. And I'm going to cut inside the marks so that it ends up a bit smaller than our brown paper. Okay, there, and about there should be good. Oh, Daddy Longlegs, where did you come from? It's a baby one crawling over my mat. It's just gone on off my mat now onto the desk. So where did you come from? Okay, so that's going to go there. That's going to go over top. Needs a bit more of a trim down. So don't want it peeking. No peeking, please. Ooh, something's funky, something's a bit off, so I'm going to make it even smaller. Because we don't want that peeking. Peeking's rude. Why are you not sitting properly? That's just doesn't want to sit properly, so I'm going to take even more off. I will work it out, I will. There, no peeking now. I gotcha. Haha. Right, do I want to use a strong glue? Do I want to use tacky glue? I think I'm going to use tacky glue. I think it will be fine. Oops, splurt. Don't want it there. I did clean my this mat this morning. I was eating breakfast, and after I'd finished breakfast I leant my arms on the mat, and it was like, oh my gosh, there's something sticky there. I have no idea what it would be because I haven't been eating at my desk for this year, apart from weekday breakfasts, because we have eggs on toast, so you know I need to knife and fork it, and it's just easier. So yeah, I have no idea why my desk was sticky. Right, so we're going to stick that. So I've put glue on the paper clip as well. So that the paper clip sticks to the brown paper. And this side. And because the brown paper is quite thin, I'm able to mould it around the paper clip. So I'm glad I cut the inside paper even smaller, because the effect it's having of moulding it around the paper clip is pulling in the edges of the brown paper. So if I hadn't trimmed it down so much, we'd definitely have peeping. We'd have to call our inside paper Tom and call it a peeping Tom. Right, I think that's all good. Making sure we're all nicely stuck. And I, whoops, almost cut my bag of buttons open. Just going to round the edges a little bit. Not something I usually do on around a paper clip, I just kind of fancied it. Thought, oh, I think it would look nice with rounded corners. And I just did a hand cut, so that definitely not even, and that's okay too. Right, so we need colour blocking, we need buttons. Let's look at buttons first, and we can afford to go a little bit bulkier here if we want to. What about, do we want pink and yellow? Pink and green. I don't want to induce pink, I don't think, because we've got blue, green and yellow and white on the paper. I was thinking like putting them back to back. Is that too much? Or do we want to put one on each side? In fact, do we want both same colour if we do that. Oh, I don't have another green one the same size. I've got a wooden one. Well, I think it's a plastic wood. No, it's not even plastic wood. It's quite a big button. Would have liked two of the same colour, I think, but not in this wee packet. I'm sure if I could find my button tin. I had a brief look, but I don't know where I've put it at the moment. Oh, might be in that cupboard in the corner. Might be there, but I'm not going to go look now. We'll just make this work. Yeah, I've got my mum's button tin full of wonderful buttons, but I don't know where. Well, it could be in that cupboard. I didn't look in that cupboard. I think I like the green. Okay, let's just do the green, and I'm going to go with the premium glue again for a nice firm hold. Come on, glue. Down you come. It's got to the point I should store this upside down, but I'm not using it. Don't use it very often because it's almost out and I can't seem to get a replacement for it. Every time I go to the shop, they're out of it, and the other shop that sells it, one, it's more expensive, and two, they only have the half-size bottle, which is even dearer to buy it in the half-size bottle. So what I've got, I'm just being very sparing with. Use it when I need it. If there's another glue that'll do, I'm using the other glue. Okay, so that will slip over something. So I've just got a card here. So that will slip over a page like so. So it works. That's good. Always good to do a test. Make sure your altered paper clip actually works. So we've got buttons, we've got brown paper, colour blocking. I think again I'm going to go with Posca pen. Perhaps should have done it before I glued the button on, but you know, hindsight. Let's grab out that same blue, I think, that we used on the children's card. And I'm going to do wiggly shapes this time. Even more wiggly than that. Colour blocking doesn't have to be regimented, solid shapes of colour. It can be more fluidy like this. What other colour? The green again. I think the green. I don't think I'll use the red this time. Maybe yellow instead. Working with the colours that are on the paper. Take that one off as well. And I need that to dry really. Let's grab the yellow. Okay, hurry up and dry. I want to do some overlapping. Give it a wee blow. Have a sip of my coffee while I wait. Check the time. Yep, we're running out of time. Not drastically. We've still got like 11 minutes before we approach the hour, but yep, blue was not dry, so I've got a little bit of mixing going on there. I mean, it's probably not true colour blocking, but loose interpretation. And any of these prompts, it's entirely up to you how you interpret them. Now, I will add some more to the other side, but I need that to dry, and it doesn't seem to be drying in a hurry. So I'm going to say that it's done, and because you can only see one side at a time anyway, I will come in and do some splotches of colour on that side. So very simple altered paperclip, very arty, random, rustic, but it's an altered paperclip. And we've got brown paper, buttons and colour blocking, and then hopefully the gold's dry on this card for our good friends. We've got our children. I've got my elements that tie it into the series, being the paper in the background, the gold frame and the words. And then we've got buttons, brown paper and colour blocking, although a lot of the colour blocking, I have to say, is covered. That's fine. So bring back the other first two cards, and that's the series of children faux collectors cards so far. And then today's altered paperclip, which is the alternative project. Thanks for joining me, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm keen to give the project a go if you haven't yet. You don't have to do all 6 in the series. You are more than welcome to just do one here and there, or just one, or do half of them, whatever you have time for, whatever you feel inspired to do. Do interpret the prompts however you wish. You're free to take it in any direction that you like. Thanks for joining me. Take care, my friends, and I'll be back again tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye.